It's quite unsafe for a woman to live in this world. The crimes against them are increasing day by day. They depend on and truly believe the cops to save their lives. But what if the same cops become the predator? Do you think there are perverts in the police department? Are they more dangerous than the criminals? On number 3, we have Braulio Gonzalez.
On the wrong side of the law, accused of a despicable crime.
This veteran officer allegedly fondled a little girl, and that child is no stranger to him.
Braulio was a resident of Miami, dated and was a veteran police lieutenant. The heinous act took place in 2018 when he kidnapped and molested a child. The survivor was a child who was related to him. He took advantage of their family relations and molested the girl since she turned 8 years old. He continuously abused her for 2 years. At last, the survivor spoke out, and the real fact of Braulio was revealed. When the survivor was just 8 years old, Gonzalez took his gun and pointed it at her. She was then made to comply with his conditions, and then he kept on molesting her till her parents came back home. He threatened her several times after that to make sure she doesn't utter a word to her parents. The poor child was traumatized and she lived in fear till 2018. When the case was taken to court, it was revealed that Braulio used to take the girl to his home as well and made her strip down all her clothes before him. He then touched her private parts forcefully. Her screams were silenced by that television's volume, and she was mentally broken by this heinous act of this pervert officer. As the case continued in the court, another child came forward, speaking out about what Braulio did to her as well. She survived the perverted act of this veteran officer. He used to creep her out by watching her shower. She was only 9 years old at that time. Braulio showed aggression towards women in general. He attacked 3 of his ex-girlfriends. They all suffered severe physical injury. He used to hit them repeatedly and broke the nose of one of his ex-girlfriends. They all came forward after hearing about the case where he molested a minor. They were all happy that finally the world got to see the real face of Braulio. The acts of Braulio did not suit that of a police officer. He has to treat people with respect and make sure that they are living life safely. But instead, his predator behavior was shown to the minors. He targeted them and molested them for years. He held a 9-year-old girl at gunpoint and molested her brutally. When the decision of the court was declared, everyone was beyond shocked. They never expected Braulio to walk free. Well, he was not fully free, but the court ordered a house arrest that too paid leave from his job. The court turned a blind eye to his wrongdoing. He was overjoyed as he thought that he escaped the prison, but fate had another plan. After a long legal battle, Braulio got the punishment he deserved. He was sentenced to jail. He would serve life in prison. Braulio never expected to receive such a punishment. He thought that he could evade the law of the country and take advantage of many other children. None of his plans worked, and you can see the aggression and disappointment on his face. The prosecution lawyer Natalie Cinder called Braulio a dangerous person, and the world agrees with her. He could hurt a lot of girls if he roamed around freely with the power of a police officer. Braulio never apologized to the survivors. He had no remorse, and he stood there in court being proud of his deeds. He was given several opportunities to apologize, but he refused every single one of them. He didn't want to show that he regrets it. On number 2, we have the Timothy Sadler Jr. Polk County Police Department received a call from a mother of a 9-year-old to file a complaint regarding the inappropriate photos she found in her daughter's phone. The mother was beyond shocked when she found nude photos of a man in her 9-year-old child's phone. She wanted to file a complaint as soon as possible and find out the sender. The Polk County Department didn't have to spend time investigating, as they soon realized that the criminal they were looking for was one of them, but an officer of another department. They couldn't believe that such a person was working for the state to ensure safety. Well, he was not in his right mind and forced a 9-year-old to send her nude photos. What kind of police officer would say such a thing? Sadler met the child on an interactive online game platform. The Wolf was the game they played, and Sankey talked to her in the name of Jade, an 11-year-old kid. The poor child didn't realize the trap she was setting foot on. Sadler planned to get nude photos from her and threatened her to meet with him for a sexual encounter. He made a detailed plan step by step, and he just needed to work it out. He created multiple accounts and names to talk with the child and earn her trust. Apart from Jade, Sadler created a profile pretending to be a 31-year-old Jason. He talked to the child, introducing him as a close friend of Jade's father. The child believed him as Jay confirmed that it was her dad's close friend. The child didn't know that behind the screen, it was Sadler who talked to her and not Jade or Jason. Both these people were creations of Sadler, and they didn't exist in real life. Sadler slowly started grooming the girl. He talked through the account of Jade and told the girl that she has a sexual relationship with Jason and it's fun. The girl was uncomfortable at first, but believed the 11-year-old Jade. He started sending pornographic images to the girl from the account of Jason and started talking to get in a sexually explicit way. He thought that she would soon fall into the trap and meet up with him. The 9-year-old survivor started sending her nude photos, and Sadler was happy to see her falling prey to him. He stored all the images to use against her in the future. During this time, he was going to his office and acting as a good police officer. No one suspected him and everyone believed him to be this ideal man. They were all unaware of what he does behind his bedroom walls. The 9-year-old child's older sister found out about the sexually explicit texts and pornographic images Sadler sent her. She informed her mother. She called the police immediately. Sadler was arrested and fired from his job immediately. On number 1, we have Trevor Smith. Trevor Smith was working in the Washington State Patrol. He fell for the sting operation and was caught red-handed. In 2022, Trevor was looking for new prey. That's when he met a mother of 2 who was ready to go into an agreement with Trevor for him to have sex with her 2 children, who were only 6 and 11 years old. Trevor was so happy as he thought he would get 2 children to sleep with that too, with their mother's consent. The undercover female officer, who pretended to be the woman selling her kids, realized that Trevor was a pedophile. The Seattle Police Department wanted to catch pedophiles, and they made the undercover police officer place an ad. Trevor was interested in it and contacted the mother without knowing that it was a sting operation. During the conversation, the undercover police officer asked what he would give her in exchange for abusing her 2 children, to which Trevor replied that she could sexually abuse his 9-month-old son. The police department was shocked to read the text, as they can imagine all Trevor would have exchanged for his son. He was unfit to be a father and shows no mercy to his child. Trevor showed up in a hotel room and the undercover police arranged for him as he thought he would sexually abuse 2 children. He even came to the room with contraceptives, which shows that he was prepared to sexually attack 6 and 11-year-old children. Trevor was fired from his job and was sentenced to 10 years in prison, after which he would be released, but he will be under the supervision of the police for 15 years. Do you think this kind of police officer should be declared unfit for service? Should they be punished brutally? Let us know in the comments.
Being you have no authority or jurisdiction over me is for me to get out of my private automobile and talk about what I just told you.
And you can show me your passport.
You got my passport, dude.
I don't have your passport.
Those gentlemen do have my passport. The Highway Patrol do.
Okay.
Highway Patrol, how about bring the passport so I can read it to the sheriff? Could you be so kind?
So, if you come out and explain to me your passport, I'll hear your side.
You've already heard my side. I've already told you my
Well,
side.
you can explain your passport to me.
I don't need to explain it. You should know this as a LEO, shouldn't you?
I've never seen your passport.
The interaction begins with the officers informing the man of his violations and requesting him to step out of the vehicle for a conversation. However, the man asserts his rights and refuses to cooperate, citing that he has no obligation to comply with the officer's demands. He claims that as a United States national, he is not subject to their jurisdiction and asserts his right to freely travel.
So ask them gentlemen politely, sirs, highway patrolmen, may I please have my passport to read to the sheriff?
They're not going to give it back to you until...
They're not going to give it back to me. So you're telling me the Highway Patrol in Wyoming has stole my private property? Is that what you guys are telling me?
You can claim...
No, it's not a claim, sir. That's another matter of fact of law. Does that passport belong to any of you? Does that passport belong to any of you? The answer is no. And if you're not giving that back to me, which is my said possession, what is that called? What's that called? As LEOs, you should know what that's.
Let me know.
That's called theft. Okay?
However, throughout the exchange, the man repeatedly challenges the officer's authority and attempts to educate them on what he believes to be the law. He references legal precedents and quotes various court cases to support his argument. He insists that the officers are acting as private entities rather than representatives of the government. He also accuses them of being revenue collectors for a foreign corporation operating under statutes and codes.
No, it is not.
Yes, sir.
What is possession?
It is property.
What is possession,
I'm
sir?
not going to argue with you, sir.
I know you can argue with me because you don't know the law. Possession is 9/10 of it, correct?
All I said was... All I said... When I stopped you, I didn't say you're getting a ticket. I never said you're getting a ticket. I just want you to step out so we can talk face to face.
We are talking face to face.
Out of your vehicle.
No, I'm not getting out of my private automobile. This ain't a vehicle.
Tensions escalate as the man resolutely refuses to comply with the officer's requests. The officers, growing increasingly frustrated, warn the man that they will forcefully remove him from the vehicle, even breaking the window if necessary. The man counters their threats, proclaiming that he will not allow his rights to be violated and his private property be damaged.
Barris, B-E-R-R-I-S.
B-E-R-R-I-S.
It's in the passport you stole.
Okay, we didn't steal your passport.
Well, then may I have my passport
You'll get
back?
everything back. What I need you to do, okay, so I'm going to tell you. Okay, so you're driving without a driver's license. You're speeding. You don't have plates on your vehicle. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I need you to get out of the vehicle to chat with us. Otherwise, I'm going to ask you to get out of the car. So right now I'm asking you, will you please get out of the car and speak with us?
No, I will not.
Okay, I'm going to tell you to get out of the car. You need to get out of the car right now.
You're being recorded.
That's fine.
Okay. And under what authority are you demanding an American state national to get out of this vehicle when I don't have to prove any kind of... I am not in your corporate bylaws. I don't need driver's licenses.
That's fine.
The conversation becomes heated with both sides firmly entrenched in their positions. The man accuses the officers of theft, claiming that they have unlawfully confiscated his passport, in which the officers ask the man to come out of the vehicle, which he denied to do.
I've already helped you. I've educated you about the law, but you're not listening. You're not accepting the facts, okay? Now, I'm going to ask you one more time. I would like my passport back. I would like to get on my way. I have critters with water freezing. I really don't have time for this.
Okay, sir. I'm telling you, if we have to, we will break the window, unlock the vehicle, and pull you out. Do you want it to get to that, or do you want to come out and talk to us?
Okay, so you're threatening...
The man emphasized the urgency of the situation, stating, "I have critters with water freezing. I really don't have time for this." Attempting to resolve the issue peacefully, the individual warned the other person that if necessary, they would resort to forceful measures, to which the cop said, "Sir, I'm telling you, if we have to, we'll break the window, unlock the vehicle, and pull you out. Do you want it to get to that, or do you want to come out and talk to us?"
You guys admit that you have no authority over me.
We can't do that, sir.
Well, I'm sorry you can't do that.
Okay.
Well, but I am not going to allow you to violate my rights to travel. I will not allow you to damage my private property. Okay? I'm telling you right now.
I don't want to damage your private property. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
I don't want to at all.
Okay.
All I want you to do is get out of the vehicle so we can talk. That's it. That is it. And I won't damage your private property. Nothing. That's
not happening. Okay. I don't have to get out of this vehicle.
Okay, so why are we coming to this? Why are we butting heads there? Why don't you?
Because you guys are not listening to the matter of fact of law. That's why.
To the matter of fact of law.
It's called the matter of fact of law.
Okay.
The man didn't let his guard down and demanded to return his passport and challenges the officers to admit they have no authority over him.
Yes, sir. Can do for you.
All right, sir. Here's your passport back. Can you roll it down a little bit further? You just want me to slide it in there?
Just slide her in here.
Okay, so this is back. Did you already pull those out? Okay. Free to go for now, okay?
What'd you do to my car?
We didn't do anything to your car.
Okay, I got it on film here.
Okay.
There's nothing sabotaged on my private vehicle.
There's nothing sabotaged on your vehicle.
Relying on the intervention of the sheriff's department, the individual expressed their trust in their involvement. They mentioned that all parties involved were gathered together for a discussion. The individual noted that a young officer approached them with their passport and handed it to a higher-ranking highway patrolman. Then the man respectfully addressed the officer, asking, "Yes, sir, what can I do for you?" The officer returned their passport, and the individual requested them to roll down the window a bit further for the return. A situation of mounting tension played out outside a residence, heightening into a sharp exchange between a woman and a team of police officers who were in pursuit of an individual named Christopher Ruff.
I need to speak with them about an incident. Do you have a phone number for him or anything?
I do not.
You do not? Do you mind if I grab your information? Just say I talked to you and that you said he wasn't home?
No, for what reason? What is this about?
It's an incident that he was involved in. I need to interview him about.
Okay, what incident?
The woman, taken aback by their sudden appearance and intrusive actions, asserted that Christopher wasn't present. Despite not knowing his whereabouts, she declined to provide any further information, growing increasingly uncomfortable with the officers' relentless inquiries and the insinuations their presence brought.
I don't need to answer that question.
What?
I don't need to answer that question.
Do you answer any questions?
Nope.
No? Okay, then thank you. Have a good rest of your day.
Thank you, you too. Is there a reason you're walking around my car right now? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of you surrounding my fucking car. Why are you here?
Regardless of her distinct assertion that she lacked any useful information, the officers carried on with their questioning, they initiating photographing her car and circling it in a manner that she found threatening.
So I talked to you earlier and you said it wasn't your car.
I didn't say that, you liar. Why are you taking pictures of my fucking car?
An incident. That's why we're trying to talk to Chris.
Why are you talking to Chris if it's my fucking car?
You weren't driving.
You have to tell me why you are taking pictures of my vehicle. That's why?
Yes.
Why didn't you fucking tell me that? I've been asking for like 20 minutes.
She demanded to know why they were photographing her vehicle and why they were at her location, her irritation mounting with every evasion of her questions. In response to her rising annoyance, one of the officers finally divulged a vague reason for their actions. He mentioned that her car had been implicated in an incident. However, he left the specifics of the supposed incident undisclosed, causing the woman's confusion to persist.
Did you not tell them it was involved in a collision?
He was involved in an incident, that's what he said.
Okay.
And then I said, why are you surrounding my car? And nobody's fucking answering me.
You tried to talk to me earlier and you said you didn't want to talk about the car, so how are we supposed to know you only...
I didn't say that. What are you talking about? I'm recording right
I
now.
was involved in a collision. Would you like to talk to us about that now?
What collision? I wasn't driving the car.
She denied driving the car and asserted that it had been parked there the whole time. The woman defended her rights vocally, challenging the officers' actions and their refusal to supply clear explanations for their conduct. Despite their assurances that she wasn't receiving any kind of citation, the continued presence of the officers and their invasive actions cast doubts over the authenticity of their claims.
Okay.
It's been parked here. What do you need? What do you need?
Okay, who else drives your car then?
None of your fucking business. None of your fucking business. What do you need with my car?
With you, but if you're just going to be disrespectful and not answer the question,
Are you going to give me a citation of some kind?
No, I'm not. That's why I didn't ask to speak.
Then stop taking fucking pictures of my car.
That's why I asked to speak with Chris.
If you need any information, you can call the person that you think was involved.
And I asked for his phone
and get
number,
the fuck away from my car.
Okay?
Their persistence in photographing her vehicle, even in the face of her repeated pleas for clarity, remained unbroken. The interaction concluded in a deadlock, with the woman resolute in her refusal to surrender information and the officers unsuccessful in adequately justifying their actions.
Are we done? Do you have everything you need?
Okay, yeah, we are done. Thank you. Have a good rest of your day.
Fuck out of here.
A routine police inquiry had escalated into a tense standoff, leaving a trail of unanswered questions and a residual sense of discomfort.
Record.
What's up, buddy? What do you want?
Any weapons in the vehicle?
What do you want?
Any weapons in the vehicle?
You just pulled me over. What do you want?
During the traffic stop, an individual in question demonstrates a strong determination to understand the reason behind their detainment. They confidently assert their rights under the Fifth Amendment, refusing to answer any questions until the officer provides a clear explanation for the stop.
You need to tell me why you stopped me.
What's that?
You need to tell me why you stopped me.
Yeah, I'll explain that in a second to you.
No, you need to tell me right now. You just detained me on the side of the road while I'm driving.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll explain all that in a second. Can you confirm you have weapons in the system?
In the system?
Confirm you have weapons in the vehicle.
You're gonna tell me why you stopped me before I ask any questions. Answer any of your questions.
By invoking the Fifth Amendment, which protects individuals from self-incrimination, they emphasize their right to remain silent.
You know who I am?
That is your voice.
Ah. So why are you asking me if I have weapons if you know who I am?
I can't see what you have going on your lap. That's why.
If you know who I am, you know I don't have any weapons. So why are you asking me? Right?
Are you able to answer that question for me yet or not? Roll this window down.
You don't gotta roll it down.
Roll this window down.
You don't have to.
Their insistence on being informed about the purpose of the stop before engaging in any dialogue reveals a strategic approach to the situation.
Yeah, it does. You better tell me why,
It's not for him. He got
right now.
you pull this one.
You'll explain to me eventually? I want to know why I'm stopped. I didn't break any laws. You see this dash cam right here? Do that?
They emphasize the importance of the officer's obligation to state the reason for the stop, seeking transparency and accountability from law enforcement.
I did? I did? I'm driving the vehicle. I did that?
Can you confirm there's weapons in the vehicle?
Hey, you guys, I got a dash cam right there that will show all of this. This is excellent. Share this around. This moron knows who I am and he's asking me if I got weapons in the car.
By prioritizing their right to know why they were stopped, the individual establishes a foundation for challenging the legality and validity of the encounter.
I don't have to answer questions. You know what the Fifth Amendment is?
Stand by with him.
Hey, I just want you to understand that for a traffic stop, when we ask, if a police officer asks you if there's any weapons, you have to say if you have weapons or not.
Do you know what the Fifth Amendment is?
Okay, all right, I want you to understand.
Do you know what the Fifth Amendment is? Yes or no?
You just say Christopher Rock. No idea who that is.
Hit the like button, you guys. Share this.
Their assertiveness not only showcases a firm understanding of their rights, but also challenges the authority and discretion of the officer. By putting the burden of explanation on the officer, they aim to ensure that the stop is based on legitimate grounds rather than arbitrary or discriminatory motives. This interaction exemplifies a proactive approach to asserting one's rights during police encounters, highlighting the significance of accountability, transparency, and adherence to proper procedures in law enforcement.